Yeah, I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been high in a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat. Yo, grew my hair and took the grill out. Think it's time to put it back in. Trying to get into that big house, turn the crib into the mansion. Needed something with that big bounce. You know I had to hit Jackson. Aaron Rodgers with the quick routes. I'm with the gang, we packing. We on the field at Lambo. Might peel in a Lambo. Running drills in my camo. They know what the M stand for. Still got fam in Hawaii, yeah. Couple fans in the lobby, yeah. Couple grand in my pocket, yeah. Couple grams of wasabi, yeah. Eye it up, no glasses. Light it up, no matches. Wife it up, no ratchets. Might turn my wife to an actress. And we gon' make a movie, no Kim K. Give a fuck about what your friends say. I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been high in a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat.
I'm just sticking to the code, I keep it so G. She asked me what I smoke, I'm smoking OG. I don't fuck with too many, only catch me 4 deep. Gotta stay away from snakes, swear these people so creep. I've been grinding for a minute, many labels so sleep. These rappers drop a song, be hot for about a week. I put Gucci on my toes, I keep some cold feet. I ain't paying for no hoe, you niggas know me. I'm about to body the beat. I keep me a hottie with me. She wanna for a fee. Give me that for free. Keep me some money on me. Smoking the gas, keep. You with me, sheesh. But need cheap keep.
I got money on my phone and money on me. I got all these hoes, but still lonely. They been blowing on that strong, but still so weak. I've been high in a drone, but still low-key. We been sitting on the floor, they in the nosebleeds. Lately I've been in control, they can't control me. Yeah, they about to get exposed for being so cheap. I've been sticking to the code and I ain't gon' cheat.
I can't take no loss, I don't even know what it costs, I hit the ground then it go off, yeah, hit the ground then it go off, yeah, I can't take no loss, I don't even know what it costs, yeah, I hit the ground then it go off, yeah, hit the ground then it go off, yeah, run it, ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my pen ready. Used to hold myself back, my self-esteem damn bad. Gotta keep on chugging. Ran through everything in front of me. Might smoke bed heavy. Got a whole agenda. Can't aspire to get ahead, so bump that. It's no surrender. Got a dollar flipped up. I'm trying to get it in FT to get them when they're in hand and crypto. Learn how to fix that. I don't really hold out of books, but I'ma learn how to fix that. Some opportunities and never come unless you paying attention. So no, I can't miss that. Moving. MVP, I got the record. I might have to prove something. Big jumper worthy. They gon' have to retire my jersey early. Whole crew coming. Had to work something cause I had nothing in my pocket. Yeah, I did all that. Big plans. Partners trying to make profits. Yeah, I did all that. Work, sweat, and tears breaking, even no ends. Yeah, I did all that. Had to make it happen. Putting hours in my practice, I did all that. Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, I can't take no loss. Yeah, I don't even know what it costs. Yeah, I hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, hit the ground, then it go off. Yeah, run it. Ooh, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my big dog, walking big talk, young veteran, living legend, bet I'm better than them. This is my ship, I'ma jack it like Letterman. Y'all better not let them in, they gon' rotate this, so I keep the pedaling. Started a chain, the cycle is heaven sent. This is from God, but I'm not your reverend, not in the pulpit. I'm a pit bull in this element, yeah. Said you gon' pull up, then settle it, yeah. I've been married to this hustle, this is my ring, watch out step in it, yeah. And I ain't even got a yard, but I'ma get it here. Watch out touchdown, pulling plans out the clutch. Everybody getting crushed, the cut down is for us now. Have to work something, cause I had nothing in my pocket, yeah, I did all that. Big plans, partners trying to make profits, yeah, I did all that. Work, sweat, and tears breaking, even no ends, yeah, I did all that. Had to make it happen, putting hours in my practice, I did all that. Yeah, I can't take no loss, yeah, I don't even know what it costs. I hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, hit the ground, then it go off, yeah, I can't take no it's my time, think it's my year, yeah. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my year, yeah. Yeah, I really feel it's my time, think it's my, yeah.
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the is it? They should have had them two bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, don't know what is in me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got a time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't never going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the roll, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Ayy, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the roll, here we go. Here we go. On a roll, here we go.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Frankie Candles live stream every single weekday right here at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And Mafia, here we are, $88,000, well, $87,260, but $88,000 value area high has been hit. However, we did not take the liquidity that we have sitting above. Are we going to get another push to the upside? We've broken above our major trend line. Our major trend line on the higher time frames is this, the break before the bigger retracement that we've been looking for, up to about 91 to 92K and potentially 97K and beyond. I want to break that down on tonight's live stream because we did come up to that $88,000 value area high where we are getting a rejection. However, you guys know we have all that liquidity sitting above $88,000, and we actually came up and kissed that level, but we did not sweep out that liquidity. So I want to take a look at the charts and kind of talk about what I'm expecting next year for Bitcoin. 88K, checked off the list. Are we on our way to 91K? We're going to break it all down. So shout out to the Candle Mafia. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys for hanging out with us here. Let's see. We got Rob the Crypto Stomp in the chat. Crypto Billy holding it down as our mods here, guys. Show the mods some love in the chat. Let's see. We got New Earth. Yo, what is going on, bro? He said, we are so back, baby. Shout out to New Earth. Welcome in. We got Bison9. What is going on? We got Trey Flip Jones in the chat. Said, we are live. Let's get it, baby. Shout out to Trey Flip Jones. Welcome in. We got CJ. We got K. I saw K Diggity in the chat. We got Darren Does Things. What is going on? Sleek Coil. Still working. What is going on? Well, you know, bro, just still working. Shout out to you, bro. Thank you for being here. We got Daniel in the chat. Welcome in. We got Keith Giga Longbottom. Let's go, baby. He says, shout out to the mods with the hot bods. Hey, shout out to Giga Longbottom. Hey, let's go. Shout out to the mods, baby. Let's see. We got Elixir in the chat. K Diggity said, I'm her. Hey, K. Phoebe says hi. Shout out to K Diggity. Let's see. We got Premium Mindset in the chat. Said, my dad passed away 2 weeks ago, but I'm back here and happy to be. Shout out to Premium Mindset, bro. I'm so sorry for your loss. That's horrible. We're happy to have you here. Shout out to you, bro. My thoughts and prayers are out to you, bro. Shout out to Premium Mindset. Let's see. We got Felix in the chat. We got Big Huggy said, let's get it, Mafia. Shout out to you, man. Dr. Sheko says, send it to zero. Send it to zero, baby. But I'm going to try to break down the charts for you guys. Like I said, we still have that liquidity sitting above, but the question is, are we about to send it to the upside? Are we going to have a bullish week for Bitcoin? I'm going to break it all down for you guys. Let's see. Oh, shout out to Chris Amella. Shout out to you, man, or lady. I don't know. Shout out to Chris Amella. We got Crypto Poppy in the chat. Welcome in. We got Philly Skills in the chat. We got the whole mafia here today. Let's get it, baby. Giga Longbottom said, my girlfriend's dad just passed. Oh, my God. Shout out to Giga Longbottom. This is, said, I'm telling her to spend her inheritance on crypto. Shout out to Giga Longbottom. Let's see. Shout out to Garlic Powder. Guys, we got Garlic Powder in the chat. Shout out to Garlic Powder. But guys, we got a lot to look at here on the charts. If you caught our market update, you will know some of what we're looking at today. But I'm going to break down the charts, give you guys kind of an overall update on what I'm thinking on the higher time frames, on the lower time frames. And then we're going to try to predict that next move on Bitcoin. So shout out to the Candle Mafia. Don't forget to smash that like button, guys. We are going to be changing the way we do our giveaways, guys. We're going to try to figure that out, and I'll try to clear that up this week. I think we're going to start doing it a little bit differently moving forward. But smash that like button if you have not already. If you appreciate the free content, it's the easiest way to support the channel. Just click that like button. We don't care if you touch it with your butt. Touch it with your hand. We don't care. We don't judge you. Just touch it. And if you do touch it, make sure you touch it an odd amount of times. And without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this saucy Bitcoin TA. Let's get into it. So here we are, guys, and I'm going to start here on the higher time frames real quick and just break down what we've kind of been seeing here over the past, we'll say ever since we kind of peaked out here at about $109,800, guys. As you know, we are looking at that key level of support down here, weekly naked point of control, 786. We all know that was the level we were watching for a potential bounce. We got those 2-day bull divs that we've been watching. Not only, well, we got the 3-day bull div too, 2-day bull div, daily bull div, right? And I do want to talk about this money flow on the daily, guys. This money flow on the daily looking like it might want to come into the green here. Now, I'm not necessarily anticipating an instant rip up to our higher targets, but I will just say, as we were looking at last week, we do have the money flow creeping to the upside here. And, we are just kind of continuing to get that trend to the upside. If we could get that money flow crossover, guys, this is going to be one of the big signals that I'm looking at to anticipate the continuation of the trend to the upside. Now, if you guys have been tuning into the live streams recently, you will know as we came into our golden pot, as we came into our 786 weekly naked point of control as our key level of support, but even before we look for those bull divs, we knew, right, between this 786 and golden pocket, this is the best opportunity we had to potentially put in a higher low before potentially coming up and maybe putting in a new all-time high, but, we have to cross that bridge when we get there. We all know that $97,000 golden pocket is going to be key resistance. It is also the POC of our major range. I'm not really going to cover this in detail today just because we look at it so much, but we all know that golden pocket POC is a big, big level of resistance. So I'm not necessarily anticipating, there's not enough on the charts to say that we are absolutely going to blast off into new all-time highs, but it is nice to see that daily money flow start to shape up here and head towards that zero line. And the question is, right, is this going to be a significant low, right? And, when we look for these significant lows in the markets, guys, not only do we look to come down to key levels of support, which we did, but we also look for those bullish divergences, and not just the bullish divergences, but also money flow coming into the green. And we are finally seeing that, right? We also had some bullish divergences on our first approach at this level. We front ran the 786 slightly, got bullish divergences, but as you can see, that money flow was coming to the downside, making us anticipate the lower high and a lower low to actually push into our key level of support. But now we've actually put in those bullish divergences into the key level with money flow finally starting to look like it wants to trend to the upside. Now, this does not necessarily mean, oh my God, bull runs back on, we're going to $1 million, but it does look good for that potential bigger retracement into those bigger key levels, sitting at around 92. We'll talk about all the key levels, but the major golden pocket retracement we've been looking at is that POC golden pocket confluence between I would call it about 96 and 97K, because with our high time frame money flow, although we have the daily creeping up, 2-day money flow also trying to creep to the upside here. Now, I wouldn't really necessarily take anything significant away from the 2-day money flow just yet, but that daily does look pretty decent. At least this is the best it could look right now, heading towards that zero line. But we do have to remember, right, 3-day money flow still trending to the downside, 4-day money flow still trending to the downside, and then even the weekly money flow also trending to the downside, right? So we have to keep an open mind to a potential push to the upside, lower highs and lower lows, right? That's still an opportunity or a possibility to happen here, right? But we have to assess that situation as we push into those key levels of resistance, and then that's kind of what we're going to use as our guide to understand if we should be looking for giga shorts at these next key levels of resistance, or if we should just be looking to flip these levels to support and continuing through our upper volume profile, potentially targeting upwards of $100,000. Now, again, this doesn't mean, oh my God, the bottom's in, we're going to 100K 100%, but this is what we're looking at, right? I really don't hate that daily money flow. This is what we were watching last week. And it is continuing to trend up towards that zero line. So pretty nice. Again, key level of support, 2-day bull div, 3-day bull div. This is our best opportunity or best chance as of right now. It's the better chance than any to get that bigger retracement to the upside. So we're also going to take a look at Bitcoin dominance, guys. We'll take a look at some of the altcoins today as well. But, as of right now, last week, as you guys know, we were looking at our current range here, and we were looking at a potential fill of this volume profile into our value area high of the range. And once again, guys, from the value area low into the POC, we hold the POC as support. The next likely place for price to go is going to be that value area high. And as you guys know, this was a key level of resistance for more than one reason, right? Obviously, we have the value area high, which is typically where we're looking at not only to fill the entire range, but it is also a key level of resistance. And you can see that is the level that we are rejecting from right now. But the importance of this level up here, guys, I do want to point this out. We still, one of the big reasons we were looking up here and talking about how this area might act as a magnet for price, not just based off the theory of the volume profiles being from the low to the POC up to the value area high. Typically, when you get accepted in, it is just that magnetic quality that these volume profiles have, filling from the low to the POC to the high. It's absolutely insane, guys. Even on the local ranges here, we've seen this play out time and time again, and we've finally gotten that full fill of the range. But it wasn't just that, guys. It was also the fact that we had all this liquidity sitting above these previous highs, starting, I would say, at about $88,600, right? We have it marked off on the chart, and we actually did not sweep this liquidity. So there's kind of a couple things that we can look at here, right? For the most part, what I was not hoping for, but one of the things that we were looking for here was simply to come up and potentially not only have that liquidity act as a magnet, but if we're able to push into this level, guys, we do still have an opportunity to get some kind of a short squeeze to come in here if we could crack above that level. And that level does lie right here. I'm actually going to label this a little bit more right here, right? Really starting at about $88,544. And we barely front run that level. We didn't get the SFP. We SFP'd the value area high of the range. But we didn't get the SFP that I would have looked for, right? So, like, if we do continue back up here, we do still have an opportunity to break into these liquidations. If we start cracking above that wick, we could potentially see those liquidations start to come into play, add that market buy pressure, and give us that squeeze into our next key level of resistance, which does sit at about 90,600. And this is a confluent zone that we've been watching forever, right? I think everybody knows what this level is at this point. And it is simply the 786 Fibonacci retracement. And then we also have our value area low coming in very, very close to this level. And that is our doorway to higher prices, guys, right? So if we could push up above this wick, I will say, and I want to be clear here, right? Not only did we get the bullish divergences, not only did we get the full fill of the range, but also, guys, if we just look at this from a simple trend line perspective, this is that larger macro trend line that we've been looking at, kind of saying like, hey, if we're going to break above this, once we get out of this trend line and we start moving up, this could be, right, a bullish sign, right? This trend line has been absolutely hammering us down every time we come up to it, and it's been absolutely brutal, right? But we broke above that level. We kind of consolidated here all last week. Last week was like one of the most boring weeks we've had for Bitcoin for quite some time. But we always say, right, like when Bitcoin is boring, it does not like to stay boring for too long. Eventually, you do get that bigger move up or down, right, depending on what you're looking at. But we are above that trend line, right? So we're above the trend line. We have the bull divs confirmed at the key level of support down below. And then we also have the money flow on the daily. So if we are able to get that money flow crossover on the daily, I do think that this trend to the upside may continue. Now, it does not mean instant Lambo candle to 100K. It does not guarantee we see 100K or even 91K, right? But if we get that money flow crossover, sure, we could see some ebbs and flows in the market, right? We could get that low time frame turbulence. The money flow indicates the overall trend, not the noise in the market, right? Money flow crossover into the red, the trend continues down, right? But we do get little pumps to the upside, but the overall thought process is lower highs and lower lows to come. And that worked out perfectly, and now we're going to be looking at this in the same exact way. However, we're looking at it in the opposite direction, right? Which is nice because that's higher prices for Bitcoin, hopefully. And this is pretty much what I'm looking at as far as the high time frame signals, guys. Money flow crossover into the green. And there's one other signal that I talked about on the market update, which I am going to bring up, which is going to be the 2-week VWAP trying to work its way to the upside here. Now, we do still have a little bit of time for this to develop. Plenty of time for this to get rejected. But if we could get this 2-week VWAP to continue up towards that zero line and print a green dot, if that happens, with our daily money flow crossover into the green, that could be a very, very good sign, as that is a market cipher B116 strategy, or it's the closest you could get to a market cipher B116 strategy on those time frames. So if we get that green money flow crossover with our 2-week green dot at the same time, that may also be another kind of indication that we might be able to continue the bigger move up. But I am still being careful, right? Not to be don't get it twisted, right? Like, if we look at this, right, we are definitely at resistance. We've come up, we look at that $88,000 level as our key level of resistance, and here we are finally sitting there, and it is resistance, guys. So not only did we get bearish confirmations up here as far as the 1-hour bearish divergences, money flow starting to come out as well. So I would say, medium to, medium time frame, it wouldn't be impossible to kind of continue down a little bit here. And there's two situations I'm looking at, right? If we do not just continue down from here and we get another push up, there is another opportunity to potentially look for short positions as we come up and approach this liquidity. But we have to see the confirmations because, as I've been talking about all last week, if we come up and grab these liquidations, there's two ways this could play out, right? We could either get the quick sweep of liquidity for an SFP and a big drop to the downside. We see that happen very, very often. We even had a local SFP play out here recently. Pull that up right here, right? A simple wick above the level, and then the candle closure below, and then you get that big dump to the downside. We also had another local SFP right here. These are very high probability trading strategies. So if we are able to come up there and get that SFP, could be an opportunity to get a little bit more of a pullback. But with the heavy amount of liquidity here, we do have to be careful of this potentially just being a gigantic short squeeze, right? Because remember, when you get stopped out of those short positions, that is what creates a market buy, which is why you see those big liquidations, or big liquidation wicks, either to the upside or the downside, in this case, to the upside. So mark this off on your charts, right? 88,500, right? 88,500 is going to be that level to break. Once we get above there, you could look for that big liquidation grab to get that big push up. 786 sitting at 90,600 in confluence with our value area low at about 91K. And this is going to be that next target to the upside, right? If we are not going to get that SFP and a big drop to the downside. This is our next key level of resistance. And to be honest with you guys, these are all the same levels we looked at last week. We're just finally seeing them get hit, right? So if we get above $88,000 and we're able to hold above, and this does turn out to just be a squeeze up, the next target would be about 91, in my opinion, right? Between $90,600 and about $92,000, where we have the anchored VWAP, and this anchored VWAP is pulled from the all-time high, right? So that is a very, very important anchored VWAP to get above. And at the end of the day, guys, this is, right, if we just hide our current local range, and we just look at this from a high time frame perspective, talked about this in the market update, this could be looked at, right, potentially, as a deviation below our macro value area, right? High time frame bullish divergences confirmed. If we could get that daily green dot or daily money flow crossover into the green, and our trend does continue up here, if we flip that $91,000 to $92,000 level, this anchored VWAP will come down as price action approaches. If we could flip that level to support, this would be very bullish, in my opinion, for Bitcoin, because if we hold above that $91,000 to $92,000 zone, that is what opens the door to get that bigger push up to the golden pocket at about $96,000 to $97,000, which is that larger retracement that we've been looking at almost on every live stream. I bring it up. Hey guys, high time frame bull divs, is this the start of the bigger retracement up to that golden pocket? And then once we get up here, if we could start to see some of this high time frame money flow turn around and give us that bigger correction on money flow, and we could see these waves start to come back into the green or deeper into the green, and we start making new highs, right? We really want to start, like, we want this to come up in a big way, right? We do not want this to just come up, make another lower high, and continue into the red, right? We need that to come up in a very big way. But as we approach these levels, it's going to be all eyes on that higher time frame money flow, 100%. And that's going to help us guide. It's going to help guide us to understand, like, should we be looking for giga shorts at these next key levels of resistance, or should we be looking for a flip of support into new all-time highs, right? And I would say flipping that golden pocket POC of the range would be absolutely huge to get that, increase the probabilities of getting those new all-time highs. But until that happens, guys, with the high time frame money flow coming up, I am still going to view this as potentially a just bigger retracement for lower highs and lower lows, right? So I would say I'm cautiously bullish, right? Because again, that daily money flow continues up. The trend to the upside is probably going to continue, right? But we can't just say that's going to call for 100K. So we have to play that level by level. And again, $91,000, 91 to 92 is that next key level of resistance, which is exactly what we've been looking at. 88K, 91 to 92, and then 96 to 97, right? And then once we flip that, I think it does greatly increase the chances of getting a new all-time high on Bitcoin. But if it looks like trash here, guys, might be time to start looking for those giga shorts back down to lower prices. And again, obviously, we have a lot of macroeconomic situations that, assuming we don't get any crazy black swans, I do think that could be in the cards here. But we have to understand we are at resistance, and it is possible to see a little bit of a pullback here, because remember, not only do we have the, and again, daily money flow indicates the overall trend. It does not mean that we can't kind of ebb and flow here. And if you guys tune into the live streams last week, you will know, or even the past couple weeks, we've been trying to figure out, what is this bottom structure going to wind up looking like, right? If this is going to be some kind of a macro bottom with the bullish divergences, right? This is not me feeling bullish because we bounced, right? Like we have been looking for this ever since we started printing these bull divs. So there are actual reasons to be looking for this. But the idea here is if these divergences are going to give us a macro bottom, what is that structure going to look like down here? And this is kind of what's really difficult to call because, back here, this is what we've been comparing it to. If you come on back here to the August 5th dump that we had, you can see this did wind up printing somewhat of a bullish divergence on the daily time frame as well as the 2-day time frame, right? And we did get a push to the upside, kind of very similar to what we're seeing right here. However, we did end up getting a bit of a bigger retracement down, but we did not make a new low, right? Because what happened here was we simply came down to put in a higher low on our golden pocket 786 Fibonacci retracement. So, is the bottom going to look something like this where we see a bullish divergence on the higher time frames, right? And then we just continue up from there. That is sometimes what we see, but oftentimes what will happen is you will come back down for a significant retracement, take out some of the longs, and then put in a higher low on your Fibonacci golden pocket 786 before getting that bigger move to the upside for potentially another break of all-time highs, right? Now, if we do see something like this, pretty much what we would be looking at is the full golden pocket 786 retracement, right? So remember, we are at resistance. If this does end up being a stronger rejection and we don't wind up coming and taking this liquidity above, or maybe we come up, take the liquidity, and then get the bigger dump, those key levels are going to be sitting right down here, right? Golden pocket, full golden pocket 786 retracement is sitting at about $79,750. 786 is sitting at about $77,400. And this is also confluent with some key horizontal levels that we have here. Weekly naked point of control sitting at about 78.5, and then that daily naked point of control is almost perfectly confluent with that 786 retracement level. So this would probably take a little bit of time, right? It's very hard to call this. Like, are we going to see something like this where we see another little retracement back down before coming back in and getting the bigger rip to the upside? Or are we just going to kind of squeeze up here and get a push into new highs? Or are we going to kind of just put in higher lows a little bit further up than getting that full retracement? Now, this is like every scenario that we could possibly see play out. But I want to show you guys kind of what I'm playing here and what I'm personally expecting. But just to kind of point that out, until we lose these macro fibs, or I wouldn't say macro, but these full Fibonacci retracements from the low to the high, we do have an opportunity, right? So, like, even if we do get some kind of a crazy dump here, maybe this is the weekly high, right? And then we come on down and we go for these bigger retracements. That still, with these bullish divergences confirmed, can still give us a higher low, and then we might see the bigger move up there, right? And again, this is very, very similar to what happened back here in August, right? We get that big dump. Everybody's like, oh my God, it's the bear market, right? We come back up. Little bit of relief, everyone gets happy, and then everyone gets sad again because we get the push down. But that was a higher low situation on that golden pocket, 786, and then you get the bigger move up. And those levels do sit right down there, really sitting between 79,750 and 77,500. Now, I'm hoping that we don't have to see those levels, but I'm just saying if we do get the bigger drop down, these are some levels that we could potentially bounce on. So do not get super, super scared if we come down for that retracement, because we could potentially see that be a higher low. And at that point, right, we're looking at the volume profile, saying to ourselves, well, hey, we're below the value area low. Maybe we get some bullish confirmations, get back into the range, flip the POC again, back up to the high, and then maybe that's where we get the bigger move up. This would be brutal, guys, because then it would be a full rotation again of this volume profile, deviate below the low, back to the high, back to the low. This would be absolutely boring, but it is definitely a possibility that is sitting on the table. And the reason I kind of look at this is because if you can see here, our daily VWAP has been above the zero line for quite some time. If we're going to get the bigger retracement down, that daily red dot is probably the thing to do it. But again, red dots and green dots indicate the noise in the market, right? But the money flow indicates the overall trend. So it would be okay to come down and put some higher lows in before continuing up. And even if that is a larger, higher low, at that point, I don't know what money flow is going to look like on the daily. It might be coming back out. That might look a little bit more bearish, but we do want to be on our toes here because these are definitely key levels of support that we need to be watching, right? And again, hopefully we don't have to come back down there. That would just be so brutal, right? Like, because at that point, it would just be, you know, depending on how quickly we get down there, like another 64 days of pretty much total sideways consolidation. But it's oftentimes what we see here, guys, when we put in a kind of like a macro bottom, right? Like, again, referring to this right here. I mean, we pulled this a few times as like a bars pattern. Let's see here. Just pull it like that, right? So you get your first little bull div, right? So like something like this. I would have to resize this, obviously, right? But something like this, right? Where you get that bullish divergence, and then you come down, and honestly, kind of lines up perfectly here, right? You go from the low back to the high. Bull div forms. We have the bull divs here. We get that rejection down. Higher low comes on your 786. Then you get back into the range, flip the POC, flip the value area high, and then you go off into higher prices, right? And that could potentially, I'm just kidding. 123,000. I'm just kidding. But you know, again, trying to call how these bottoms are exactly going to form is a very, very difficult task. But I'm going to show you guys exactly how I'm playing this, right? So very simply, we're at resistance, could see the pullback. I am being very, very careful. I'm just treating this as a range, right? Like, we look for shorts at the highs, longs at the lows, longs at the lows, shorts at the highs, shorts at the highs, longs at the lows, right? So on and so forth. And I'm going to treat this just like that. So we have short setups in the premium Discord right up here. But again, really what I would have loved to see for a higher probability setup would be not only, right, we did come up to that bearish divergence. Come up to that value area high with the bearish divergences on our 1 hour time frame, right? With our higher highs, lower highs. Come on, right? So you get those bearish divergences into your key level of resistance. This is where you want to look for shorts, and we get the pullback, right? But again, for the stronger setup, I would have really liked to see the bearish divergences form with the SFP, which we did not get. So at this point, if we do come back up, there are a few other levels that we are looking at to potentially re-enter shorts on retracements, or if we do wind up getting, those big liquidity sweeps, we have some things that we're looking at up there to potentially look for the big retracement down. And again, that daily VWAP if we get that red dot, right, on the daily at, either, I don't think it's going to happen today, right? Like, if we confirm this candle, and we might get a little bit of a rollover, but maybe we get that red dot in the next day or so, maybe 2 days. That would call for a retracement first before finally coming up and squeezing out that liquidity. So it's not impossible to get a little bit of a pullback here. We also have our 4-hour red dot printing. 15-minute money flow back in the red here, right? Is that a blood diamond? Let me see this real quick. Come on, baby. Give me that blood diamond. Give me that blood diamond. Let's pull it up. There it is, blood diamond, 15-minute blood diamond. It's going to zero, guys. It's going to zero. No, I'm just kidding. But that's kind of what I'm looking at, right? Like, and these are the levels that we've been looking at, guys. 88K, that's the key level of resistance. Bearish confirmations at the high, and we get the pullback. But again, the question is, are we going to get that squeeze of? And there is a key level, guys. If we wind up losing this, I'm going to bring up some local levels that I'm looking at. But just simply put, just because this is what we have been looking at. Very simply put, guys, the volume profiles will absolutely change your life. Like, I'm going to get, I decided I'm not going to get the volume profile tattooed on my head, but what I am going to get tattooed on my head, guys, is going to be value area low, arrow, POC, arrow, value area high. And then maybe right underneath it, I'll have value area high, arrow, POC, arrow, value area low, because this is the simplest way to look at the market, right? Even if you don't have, to be quite honest, like in here, this was, in my opinion, kind of a rough situation because you are above the POC. We did have liquidity sitting down below, so I was like somewhat neutral here. But if you had to lean a certain way, you could always lean on the volume profiles, right? As long as you hold above the POC, the next likely place for price to go is that value area high. Very simply put. But I'm going to show you guys a different context and like exactly how I'm handling this right now. So I'm going to pull up that local range. This is our key level. 86,000, right? Because when we look at this little bit of a more local range, what is this, right? We've already hit our macro value area high, and this is assuming, right, if we do come up and stop out of shorts for that liquidity sweep, I may even look for a re-entry if I get the extra confirmations of that liquidity sweep. But, if we're going to continue down first, which again, 4-hour red dot, like 5-hour red dot, 6-hour VWAP coming down, looking for the red dot to print. And again, money flow looks pretty good, right? We're not looking for, mega dumps to zero, right? But this would just be in the context of potential cool-offs for potential higher lows, right? Where those higher lows come in is going to be another story. But, if we see these higher time frame VWAPs come down, give us the red dots, maybe the 8-hour red dot with our 30-minute money flow crossover into the red might be something to look for to give us that bigger move down. But I would say this, right? If we get accepted back into this value area high at about $86,731. So let me just drop that down slightly, make that a little bit more accurate, right? If we, like right now, we're holding above that value area high. But if we come back down and we start losing this level, we might be able, and we get stuck underneath here, we might be able to get the bigger retracement to the downside. And again, this is still going to be like over the longer term. If that daily money flow continues up, we're going to be looking at that as short-term pullbacks, higher lows, and higher highs. It's the same thing that we look at when we're looking for the bigger drops down, right? Sure, we have money flow crossover into the red here. But then we get pushes up, right? A little push up, little push down, little push up. And then we come down here and we're like, oh my God, key support, bullish signals, right? Bounce. But overall, you look at that as a lackluster retracement for lower highs and lower lows based off money flow. It's the same thing in the opposite direction here, right? So if we do come down, looking at that daily, it is okay to come down, potentially putting in higher lows and higher highs, right? That's what I'm going to be looking at. But just be aware of that liquidity above, again, sitting above, starting at, pretty much the high right here, right? We basically tapped this like almost to the dollar. $88,500. That is where the liquidity starts. I'll even pull up the heat map for you guys. Where's it at? Where's it at? There we go. Okay. Never mind. Shut it down. Shut it down. What is going on? Are we going to blue screen? What's the over-under? Are we going to blue screen? Okay, there we go. All right, so there we are, right? Liquidity sitting right here. And again, you can see it starts just above that wick here, $88,500, and we just tapped into it, right? And again, is it impossible to front-run this liquidity and get a big drop down? No, but I am going to be aware, right? If we stop out of shorts and we get pushed into that liquidity, I will be looking for a potential re-entry if we get the confirmations. And if that just winds up being a big squeeze to the upside, guys, taking a look at this liquidity, we talked about this last week. This was the closer liquidity. Let me turn this up a little bit so we can see it a little better, right? Hot spot of liquidity here. We were closer to this area, right? And when you are closer to that, whatever liquidation levels are closer to you, Not 100%, but more often than not, that's what's going to act as the stronger magnet for price, right? Other than that, we don't really have a lot of liquidity, right? The other lower liquidity sits down at about 67K. We're pretty far away from that at this point. This is very close. Are we going to come sweep that? And the reason I say $91,000 is such a key level to flip to support is because if we get above that $91,000 value area low, you start to get creep closer and closer to the massive, the most amount of liquidations looking at this heat map, guys, sit above $100,000. This does not guarantee that we are just going to yeet on off to 100K. But if we look at this over some time and we let that price action develop, where's my upper range here? Bada boom, right? Get above that value area low. Not only is that POC going to act as a magnet, but that $100,000 liquidity is sitting just above the POC. So again, biggest levels of resistance. Flip 91 to 92K, POC, in my opinion, becomes very, very likely. Once we start creeping above there, the liquidity above $100,000, again, looking at this, you can see all that liquidity. It literally starts at about $99,821. That is eventually going to become a magnet for price. And if we hit that, you might be able to get another squeeze to the upside into your next key level, which is the macro value area high, as well as your macro 786 retracement, right? So these are still the major targets on the chart. We're just finally seeing this stuff play out, right? 2-day bull div gave us the move up to the high. Hopefully we don't get stuck under this value area high. I do think that would make it, that would turn us, shorter term, a bit more bearish if we lose that $86,730 level. But again, just trading this as a typical volume profile, guys. Get stuck back below the high. Look to go to the POC. We do have some long setups down here in the premium Discord that we will be looking at if we get the bigger retracement. And then again, like the biggest key levels, in my opinion, we're going to get a massive retracement is going to be sitting down there on the Golden Pocket 786, right? But other than that, we are watching the local levels in the Discord. We do have some levels down below that we are going to be looking at for longs, but those are like internal local levels. I really like to cover the big saucy levels here on the live stream. And in my opinion, we're right on track here, guys. We are right on track here, not only with the volume profiles, but also with the money flow and the bullish divergences, just like potentially giving us the break above that trend line for the bigger retracement to the upside. But just don't get it twisted here. It does not mean 100% guarantee, oh my God, we broke out, retested, we're definitely going up instantly. You have to anticipate those ebbs and flows in the market. So we'll see what that 4-hour red dot gives us. We'll see if we can get that daily red dot print here. I mean, we'll see what the daily close looks like. We'll probably see that on the live stream, potentially, maybe not. But yeah, we'll see. Maybe that VWAP rolls over. I do think the daily red dot is going to be the bigger sign for a bit more of a retracement. But again, we're just going to be looking at that volume profile down below. And yeah, if we get a move back down to the low, hey, what are we going to be doing down here? Well, hey, potential area to put a higher low in. We get the confirmations here. We will be looking for those longs to continue to trade this volume profile. But we'll see what happens. That $88,000 level, guys, I'm not going to lie. We looked at this for so long. Is it ever going to hit? Is it ever going to hit? Well, there we go, right? We get that random Easter squeeze into the value area high. So that's pretty much what I'm looking at, guys. And again, I hate to sound, or not even sound repetitive, but like all these levels have been the levels we've been looking at, right? And, overall, sure, we got a nice move up here. From the low to the high. Yeah, like a nice 5% move, not too shabby. But again, we're just playing it level to level. We rejected the value area high, and when we look at it through the lens of the local retracement levels, get stuck under here, get for that bigger retracement to the downside. So yeah, 1 hour money flow, looking to cross over into the red. 8-hour red dot with the 30-minute money flow crossover could be another thing to look at to start that bigger move down. But that's pretty much how I'm playing it here, guys. Simply trading the volume profiles here. 24-minute money flow starting to come out. That could be indicating that 30-minute may follow. But I just think we kind of have to wait for this consolidation to play out here and just see if we get accepted below this range. If we get stuck under this level, guys, mark my words, I'm going to be looking for a little bit bigger of a drop down. All right, let's see. Shout out to Dave Digital in the chat. What is going on? Said like number 210 is Dave Digital. Shout out to Dave Digital. Let's get it, baby. I appreciate you, bro. Let's see. Shout out to Jesse in the chat. Said smash that like button. 1K likes needed. As always, it helps support the channel. It is free 99, by the way, guys. Likes are free 99, and it helps us out endlessly. And we really do appreciate it. If you appreciate this free analysis every weekday at 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time and this free trading education, smash that like button. But let's see here. Bada boom, bada bing. We are going to take a look at some altcoins as well, guys. But yeah, I would say my overall sentiment right now, Yo, shout out to Base Bailey said, Frankie, when does ETH uncook? Yeah, ETH is cooked, guys. I'm kidding. It will uncook hopefully at some point, right? I'm going to take a look at ETH in just a second. Lambo candle incoming. Shout out to J. Cole. Yeah, let's go, baby. I'll be honest, right? Like right now, I would say I am cautiously bullish, right? And again, like nothing has really changed here. 2-day bull divs, like this is what we've been looking for. Into the key levels, et cetera, et cetera. And then we use those local profiles to find the next targets to the upside. And the more you look at these volume profiles, the more you will realize how magnetic they really are. Like these are not just random lines on a chart, guys. Like where are we getting the projection from? Right from the value area high, the key level of resistance. Unbelievable. Where we look for shorts. Never FOMOing into long positions on those big pushes to the upside. Although I would say if you did FOMO here, you did have a chance to enjoy a little bit of a squeeze to the upside on those liquidations. So number one, watch that daily red dot for the first cool off, right? And the 8-hour red dot with the 30-minute money flow crossover. Those are the things I'm looking at for a move down, right? Overall, those move downs right now would be looked at as lackluster retracements, higher lows and higher highs, right? And again, doesn't mean that we can't just break down. It's definitely possible, but that's what I'm looking at right now. I don't hate the daily money flow. And yeah, like really, it's not just that, right? It's the bull divs, the high time frame bull divs. Like we'll see what happens here. We're above the trend line, which is really nice to see. And we're going to take a look at Bitcoin dominance as well, guys, because we've been watching some key levels on Bitcoin dominance, and one of those levels may have just gotten hit. So yeah, shout out to Captain Kirk. Welcome in. Said, I'm always short. I ain't never getting any taller. Shout out to Captain Kirk. Let's go. Everybody drop your height in the chat. Put your height in the chat. I am an aggressive 5'4". I'm an aggressive 5'4", guys. I might be short, but I'm just kidding. If you guys have ever met me, the first comment I get in real life when I meet Mafia members is usually like, "Whoa, dude, you're way taller than I thought." I'm 6 foot. I might be 6'1", right? But I just say 6 foot because I think it's like 6 3/4. But yeah, I'm about 6 feet. Let's see. All right, we got shout out to Captain Kirk, 5 feet. We got 6 foot even. Yeah, shout out to Satoshi Stacker. I'm gonna measure myself today because I might be 6'1". I've always been like I peak out at like 6 foot. Like what am I saying? I just drew a complete and total blank, guys. But yeah, I'm like so close to 6'1", so close to 6'1". But that doesn't count. That doesn't count. You're 6 feet. If you're not 6'1" fully, you're 6 foot. In my head. 6'1", or 6'4", 6'8". Shout out to OT. Is that true? 6'8's crazy, bro. 5'7". Shout out to Still Working. I like it. Shout out to Jack. What is going on? He said, what up, Frankie? What's going on, bro? Welcome in. Ask us how much we weigh. That's even more fun. How much you guys think I weigh? Drop in the chat how much you think I weigh. A lot of people probably get this wrong, too. Now I already said I'm 6 foot, so that probably kind of ruins it. But actually, I don't know. I feel like yeah, let me know. Let me know how much you guys think. Tony T said 6'10". 6'10" is crazy. Shout out to CandleMafia. John Cena said, Frank, I thought you were 5'6". I'm telling you guys, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the position of the camera. But yeah, I mean, you don't. These calves got to carry around this 170, 185. Okay, dang. I guess 192. Dang. I guess I look my weight. That's crazy. I have, like, for the past 7 years, probably more than that, like, since I've been a senior in high school, I've been between about, like, 185 and, like, 200 and change. Right now, I'm probably 195, maybe. 200 pounds, yeah. Wow, you guys that's a good guess. I did not think you guys were going to get that close. I feel like I look like I don't weigh as much as I do. That's crazy. 170. Wow. Dang. All right. I underestimated, guys. You're like nailing it low key. Between 175 and 200 is like, Frankie's actually tall. Shout out to Tales of Mystery. Yeah, it's these calves, guys. I'm always on my tippy toes. But anyway, that's what we're looking at on Bitcoin, guys. Hopefully, at least hopefully for, the move up, it would be bullish in my opinion to hold the value area high. But again, what is this? This is a deviation above the high with bearish divergences confirmed. Not impossible to get a rejection back into this value area high for the bigger pullback, right? And then in general, you could potentially look at this as a full fill of the range. But again, in the meantime, I am going to be very careful of potential higher lows to form, right? Let's pull the fibs here real quick, right? We have the golden pocket 786 confluence on that POC. We also have the previous range here that we could look at as kind of support down below, value area high, golden pocket, PLC, value area low. These are key levels down below. Maybe we get accepted back into the range, could put a higher low in there, break back out, get the bigger move up. But yeah, this is the level. Like lose 86. If we like close a daily candle down here, which I don't know, it's getting close, right? Unless we come down here and close that daily candle, we lose this level. I would say at least a little bit more of a pullback is in store, and then we get to assess the situation as it comes. And, if we are in short positions, we will just be looking at that. If we don't get the higher low, cool, we're short from the top. And shout out to, was it Coin Hoover? I saw a couple people in here. Short from the top. Shout out to Coin Hoover who said the premium Discord is printing on those short positions. Absolutely. Shout out to Kelefant says, Frankie is 1 foot taller than me. Shout out to Kelvin. I guess you're 5 foot. Let's go. Let's see. Shout out to Tony D. Says, thank you for the super chat, bro. He says, now guess Tony D's weight. My favorite answer gets free premium for life. JK. Shout out to Tony D. I don't even know how much Tony D weighs right now. But yeah, I wouldn't even know. 243. Captain Kirk says 265, 199. All right. I like it. But yeah, let's see. You need to stand up, Frankie. All right, fine. I'll stand up, guys. I'll stand up. If you really want to see how tall I am, I'll stand up right now. Let me make sure you guys can see me. All right, I'm going to stand up. There we go. I'm standing up. I told you I'm 6 foot. Let me sit back down. All right, yeah. So there you go, guys. My feet are just like dangling on the chair. No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna have to prove it. If you guys ever meet me in real life, if anyone has ever met me in real life, Crypto Billy, tell him I'm 6 foot. Maybe I'll measure myself tonight and confirm it. Maybe I finally hit that 6 foot 1 milestone. Let's see. Shout out to Mikey in the chat. What is going on? Shout out to Low Key Feta said 210, all muscle, Tony D muscles. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Abe said bro is literally 4'9". God, I just stood up. Does this look 4'9" to you? Come on. Oh God. I'm not gonna lie, guys. I would give some of my height for thickness. I would take 5'11" and bigger than like 6'1". I mean 6'1", 200. I don't know. It's all in my torso. All my length is in my torso. That's why my calves are so big, guys. I got short legs with a long torso. Let's see. I can't stop thinking about Frankie's legs swinging under the desk. I'm kidding, guys. Should I show a little leg here? Show a little calf. Oh, there we go, baby. There's those calves. I'm gonna have to start juicing these things up a little bit more. Yo, Frank just admitted he wants my build. I don't know what it is. People obsess about height. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. But yeah, I would totally take like 5'11", like 220. I would like that. But yeah, just getting heat growth surgery. That's crazy. But anyway, let's continue on here, guys. We'll see what happens here on Bitcoin. Again, key level, $86,730. Get stuck under there. Looking for the bigger pullback. And other than that, higher time frame context and sentiment remains exactly the same. Let's see if we can get that daily money flow. I would think maybe a little bit more of a correction. Get that red dot to print. Money flow comes back into the green. That might be where we get that continuation up, right? Money flow indicates a longer-term trend, not the instant ebbs and flows in the market, right? So red dot, money flow, right? Money flow would indicate the trend. Red dot would indicate the little ebb or flow to the downside, right? Again, whether it comes down here, or down there, we'll have to assess as we approach. But there we go. Let's see. So I do want to take a look at the altcoins as well. It's all about, oh God, shout out to Paul. Oh God, you're talking about third legs now. Unbelievable, guys. That G-rated stream. Well, maybe not G-rated, but it's yo, Frankie Stonks base. Shout out to Hugo's. Yeah, my hair is crazy. Shout out to Tony D. Said, I've been trying very hard to get a picture of Frankie Kendall's hair for personal use, blackmail, and he is guarding it like Fort Knox. Yes, absolutely, guys. I am letting my hair grow. Mrs. Kendall is making me grow my hair out. Not making me, but she wants me to. So I'm letting it grow. But it do get crazy, guys. If I took my hat off right now, you guys would lose your mind. lose your mind. It's crazy. I have weird hair, guys. I have toothbrush bristle hair. So my hair doesn't like get long and just like flow down. It's like crazy. I look like a mad scientist. But anyway, show hair, Frankie Candle. Shout out to Dave Digital. Never. But anyway, let's continue on here, guys. We're going to keep an eye on the Bitcoin price action as it develops here. But I do want to take a look at some of these altcoins as well. Starting, with Ethereum. We'll take a look at ETH here. Show hair. Shout out to Jesse. Oh, God. Take it off. It's like a parallel universe in there. Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. Show hair or riot. There's a riot in the chat. I don't think I will ever. Maybe I'll accidentally do it. I'll like try to fix my hair. I'll take the hat off and fix my hair, and you guys will see it. It's crazy. I'm surprised it's not sticking out of the holes in my hat. I'm not gonna lie. That toupee though. Shout out to Spaghetti, bro. Insane. It's a toupee. Toupees are wild. But anyway, let's continue on here, guys. As we know, Ethereum consolidating below its value area low. We try to get above, try to get above, and we just can't do it, right? This is our key level of resistance. Not only the key level of resistance, but also the doorway to higher prices, right? If we get above that value area high at 1640, that is our doorway to get that bigger push up into the golden pocket POC, sitting between about 1830 and 1851. Once we get above there, we can look to get that bigger retracement into the 786 value area high. Simple volume profile, right? And the one thing I don't love about Ethereum here, guys, is we don't have the bull divs, right? We don't have the daily bull divs here on Ethereum. We don't have the 2-day bull divs. I guess we do have the 2-day bull div. It's not as pretty as it is on Bitcoin, but you do have the 2-day bull div. You don't have the daily bull div. And the way this daily looks, to me personally, if that red dot prints, look at that VWAP. That VWAP has been above the zero line for 12 days, right? Usually, you are going to get some kind of a crossover here at some point. So once that, and it is starting to come to the downside, if we print that red dot, very similar to Bitcoin, probably where we're going to get the next drop to the downside. And the way this daily momentum wave looks, it's not a guarantee, right? It doesn't have to happen like this, but typically when we see the momentum waves form like this and we have an incoming red dot, that momentum wave can sometimes put in a higher low, which could potentially give us that daily bullish divergence. I would wait for that daily red dot to see if we can get that daily bull div or at least some kind of a retracement to the downside. But the reason I don't love Ethereum as much as I like the divs on Bitcoin is because we just simply don't have it on the daily, right? So maybe Ethereum's lagging behind and is going to print that daily bullish divergence. We have to see what happens. That daily red dot is likely going to be the thing that starts the bigger move down. If we do print it and we are going to get that pullback, that is what I'd be looking at for that to start. If we take a look at the 8-hour, red dot is printing. 30-minute money flow is attempting to come out here. It's kind of flat, but it is attempting to come down. Red dot potentially incoming. So, yeah, I would watch the 8-hour red dot with the 30-minute money flow crossover, and I would also watch the daily red dot, right? So, again, although my general thesis, at least on Bitcoin, is for a continuation up, let's not forget, we are at resistance. We have gotten bearish divergences at the key level, which could cause the pullback, right? And if Bitcoin starts to pull back, very, very likely, very, very likely, we will see Ethereum follow suit, right? We're at resistance with the 1-hour bear divs, right? We could get a little pullback. Ethereum is likely to follow, especially with the daily red dot incoming. Not out of the cards here, right? So, and other than that, right, Ethereum has been going sideways pretty much for 15 days, right? So other than that, as far as levels go, these fib levels and the POC remain exactly the same. This is still your doorway to higher prices, or at least doorway to 1830, right? And then that's our roadmap through this profile. But we got to get above 1640. Simply put. And then key levels to the down, like we'll see what happens. I don't know if I'm going to bring these up, but, if that daily red dot does print, we would hope to get that bull div. But lower levels on Ethereum remain exactly the same, right? Where we can look at our bear market range, value area low sitting at about 1300. So if we do wind up getting the bigger drop down to that value area low, could get that daily bull div into that level, right? If it's a bigger pullback, could get that bull div right into the value area low, sitting at about 1308, right? And when we look at that value area low locally that we're projecting here, you can see bing bong, bing bong, bing bong, right? Look at the bear market range. That is also the POC. We've been stuck under this level forever on ETH, right? Like I can't remember how many times we've been looking at this, right? Like can't get above the POC, then simply put, the doorway to the golden pocket is not open. right? Once we get above that, we would also be getting above that value area low locally. I'll pull them up at the same time here, right? They're almost perfectly confluent here. So whether you want to look at it as the local range, right, or the bear market range, they're the same levels, right? Get above that. This is like more than one reason that this is the key level, right? Hold above this. Look for the bigger move up. Golden pocket, 786, value area high, next levels to the upside. Honorable mention, daily level sitting at about 1904. But trying to front run this, right? Like if we do get the bigger drop down and that daily bull div does look to print, where's a key level that we could look for that to form at? Potentially the value area low, right? I mean, super ideally, we don't have to put the daily bull div in, and that 2-day bull div that we had was enough. I don't really love this one, though, to be honest. It's not as strong as it is on Bitcoin. So, yeah, other than that, Ethereum just still stuck under this POC, just hammering that POC. Shout out to Mikey, said I'm staying out of ETH until the 1300s are in the rear view. Yeah, shout out to Mikey. My ETH bag, guys. I don't usually check my spot bags every single day, but I did open up my I did open up the wallet with my ETH. Oof. Oh man, it hurts. Oh man, it hurts. Shout out to Sleek Coil, said altcoin request tonight. Yeah, if you guys want to see your favorite altcoins, drop them in the chat right now. Rob the Crypto Snob will count up the votes and let us know what we're looking at. Rob, let's do like 2 to 3 requests, and then I will run through some of the big boys. Let's see. ETH to 0 before Bitcoin to $1 million. Shout out to Eugene Sky. The question is, will ETH recover from 0? Because I got to set my limit orders then. Shout out to Eugene Sky. Yeah, we're going to jump into Solana right now. Shout out to Infinite Growth, said just sell for Solana. Shout out to Infinite Growth. I also hold a lot of Solana. But at this point, I'll be honest with you, I can't sell my ETH where it's at right now. Because here's the thing, right? If we take a look at Bitcoin dominance, guys, here's the thing, right? A lot of people want to, is ETH dead, right? At the end of the day, maybe it is, right? But, you know, this almost happens every single time, right? Everyone thinks ETH is dead. It's old. It's slow. It's never stopped Ethereum from pumping, right? And I used to think the same thing. Like, why would ETH pump? Like, just so much better stuff out there. Gas fees are a nightmare. Like, I actually, have the pain of using Ethereum, and it makes sense, right? Like, why would this thing explode if there's so much better stuff out there, cheaper, faster, etc.? It's just never stopped Ethereum, right? Like, it's always like everyone's like, oh, it's not gonna pump this cycle, and it just goes, right? But when we see an alt season, right? We have not seen alt season yet, right? We've seen meme coins go crazy on Solana, etc. But this was the closest thing that we had to some kind of an alt season, right? This was like a little mini alt season. We came up to key resistance, we rejected it, we looked for the alts to pump, and we got it, right, on that pullback. We have never gotten a full alt season. That is alt season, right? We need something like this. If we get something like that where dominance is absolutely dumping and Ethereum, all the other alts are ripping and Ethereum is doing nothing, that is a gigantic warning sign that Ethereum, yikes, right? But we just haven't, there's, in my opinion, right, it's not like we're seeing dominance dump and just ETH's not moving or anything like that. So I'm just not that worried. And as we look at the dominance chart here, guys, just understand, you know, once we broke above this golden pocket / value area low, I was not interested in looking at alts really until we came up to our next key levels of resistance. And where were they? 64.29%. We have our 786 at 66.21%. And then all the way up here, I would think this one's a little more unlikely, but 68.87% at the value area high. These are the next key levels on Bitcoin dominance. And obviously we are here at the first level, right? So, you know, as we see this, right, at the end of the day, right, sure, we maybe get a little rejection here, but until we wind up breaking down in this value area, that is our best bet at an alt season, right? In my opinion. And once we break above that golden pocket, I will say this. Once you get above the golden pocket, well, once you get above the value area low, where's the next place for price to go or dominance to go? POC, right? Perfect. Once you break above the golden pocket, where's the next likely place for dominance to go? 786. Is 66.21% in the cards? I think so, right? If we get above that POC, just naturally, we're going to be looking to go into that 786 next. We break above that 786, value area high would be next. So it's really as we reject these levels where we want to start seeing the alts move, right? But here we are, right? Like not calling for alt season in February for no reason, right? Oh, February's bullish, alt season, right? I don't know about that, right? Like we're in a completely different situation than we've been in the past, right? So it doesn't matter like what has happened in the past as far as like months go if you're not in the same conditions, right? Which we were not here. So, yeah. If we see some crazy dump on dominance and ETH is still not moving, that is a really bad sign, right? But we're just not seeing that, right? Dominance is going up. It's like you wouldn't really necessarily expect ETH to be getting a massive pump right now. But definitely painful, let me tell you. Let's see. 66 represents 2/3 of the total market cap. Shout out to Jack. Yeah, insane. Altcoin votes are in. Shout out to Robert Crypto Sound. What are we looking at, baby? What are we looking at? Let us know. So yeah, let's take a look at Solana real quick. That's what, well, we took a look at Ethereum. Let's take a quick look at Solana. Now, as you guys know, on Thursday's live stream, we were looking at Solana and the liquidity that we had sitting above this massive wick here. Bada boom, right? What do we know about massive wicks and liquidity? Well, it does act as a magnet for price. What happens? We get sucked up towards there, we squeeze to the upside, and we come right into that POC. And even if you're not looking at liquidity, you don't know what liquidity is, you're all confused by, I don't know what the heck liquidity is, or liquidity sweeps, what the heck are these people talking about? If you are confused by that, just understand the volume profiles are your guide to where price is going to go next. Get above the value area low, hold it as support. Next likely place for price to go, the POC. Where are we getting the rejection from? Right from the POC. Almost hit it to the dollar, right? Or the penny, I should say. Insane, right? So right now, Solana, inside its larger range. Value area low is your key level of support, 2682. And we had a lot of resistance up here, right? POC, not only the POC, I believe we had a weekly naked point of control, right? Weekly naked point of control right here. Daily naked point of control just above the POC. And then do we have a horizontal daily level up in there? Weekly, nope. Monthly, no. Yeah, so we did have like a pretty good confluent level of resistance up here. Right on that POC. Massive resistance above. We come in, tap the POC. If we get stuck under this weekly naked point of control, or I would personally look at this, right? If you lose this wick, right, you know the liquidity was sitting above there, right? And what do we look for when we look for short positions when we have a lot of liquidity? Well, oftentimes we look for an SFP, but sometimes if you don't get an SFP, what you will get is like a failed auction, right? Where price tries to bing bong around, like price tries to trade above those highs. But once you get accepted back down below those levels, sometimes you can get a bigger dump to the downside, right? It's kind of like the same thing as an SFP, but it's just like a little bit elongated, right? Like if you look at this as like a weekly, it would look a little bit like an SFP, potentially, right? Well, I guess not really on the weekly now because you closed the candle above. But yeah, I mean, we lose. This would be a key level, right? You would want to hold this as support. If you lose that, we might be able to get a little bit more of a cool off. And we look at Market Cipher B, daily VWAP coming to the downside, looking for a red dot. Now, money flow still looks pretty good, right? Money flow's not looking too shabby. Red dot prints might be a little ebb to the downside, but just keep in mind, come on down to a lower time frame here, right? Value area low, 126.73 is your key level of support. And we can also keep an eye on our golden pocket retracements, right? So you have your golden pocket. This is also, pull this range real quick. Don't really have confluence with the range. Pull up the daily levels real quick. Yeah, we don't have any. Man, I would have really liked. Yeah, right now we're holding above this daily right now. Let's mark this out real quick. Daily. And let me just. Yeah, lost that daily above. This one's right down here. Whoops. So, key level of support, 786 daily value area low. Super, super key level of support here. Whoops. Right. Maybe you bounce off the golden pocket. This will be an honorable mention here at about 130.86. You're holding this daily right now. This has been tapped. Came down. That's what we're bouncing off of right now. So, I mean, I would say I would really like to close above this bigger wick. But if you lose this daily, I would say golden pocket 786 would be next. And overall, just in general, 786 value area low, like that's your key level of support, right? As long as you stay above that value area low, we've already gone from the low to the POC. Sometimes it is a journey, right? So you might cool off a little bit. But as long as we stay above that value area low, I would say we're pretty good for more upside. But yeah, I would say, yeah, golden pocket 130.86 down to the 786 value area low at about 127 to 126 bucks, right? Anchored VWAP also coming up here from the low. So if we do cool off here, right, maybe that anchored VWAP comes up, we can hold that as support and then potentially get the bigger push up. And again, very similar signals here that were on Bitcoin, right? What were we looking at on Ethereum forever, right? As we were bing-bonging around up here, pull up the macro here, right? We look to come down. Hey, once we lose these levels right here, get it rejected out of our larger upper profile, we can look for that bigger move down to the value area high POC, and that is exactly where we ended up putting in those 2-day bull divs, right? So like very similar to everything else. Lower lows, higher lows, 2-day bull div into our key level of support. That took forever for us to hit. We were looking at this level ever since we came down here. And then we finally bing-bonged around, lost the level, came in here, got those nice bullish confirmations on the higher time frames. 2-day money flow trying to work up as well. So again, very similar kind of, as of right now, similar sentiment. Maybe the red dot cools us off, but as long as we can remain inside this range, if money flow continues into the green, overall trend would be likely to continue to the upside, at least as of right now, until that money flow gives us a little bit more direction. Let's see. Let's see. Let me come up to the current chat here. Oh, there we go. Shout out to Rob the Crypto Snob. We got our altcoins for tonight. Let's go ahead and pin that message real quick. Let's see. Just make sure I didn't miss anything. Shout out to Jesse, said Frankie ETH will die. Maybe. Definitely possible. You're never going to catch, shout out to Jesse, you're never going to catch me being like, ETH is impossible to die. Trust me, I've been shocked and humbled by the market enough times to know that nobody knows where this stuff is going 100%. But yeah, I've heard it so many times. ETH's going to die, and then it just pumps. Because I was also part of that, right? I'm like, logically, why would this thing pump, right? And that's why I always stick to the charts, right? Because if the chart looks bullish, the chart looks bullish. I would say Ethereum, again, no bullish divergences. Like, I'm still a little iffy on it as far as a chart perspective. But even from, like, a fundamental perspective, it's like, why would this thing pump? There's so much better stuff out there. And then, sure enough, it just keeps pumping. And I'm just always like, crazy. But let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Just make sure I didn't miss anything. I think we could. Oh, shout out to Golden's new chair. Shout out to Golden's new chair. Said you look taller because of your new chair. Yo, shout out to Golden's new chair. Yeah. This it's propped up, guys. It's propped up. Like I said, my feet are swinging here. My feet are nowhere near the floor. They're actually not even dangling off the chair. They're just like sitting even with the edge of the chair. I'm just kind of like sitting. Oh God, it's so funny. But yeah, if you guys ever meet me in real life, just understand you're gonna. It's like literally the number one thing I get is like, wow, dude, you are way taller than I thought. I'm not like super tall. Like 6 foot isn't like super tall, but people are always like, dang, bro, that's wild. Let's see. Yo, shout out to Stupid Bitcoin. Said PSA: a hit and run can happen to anyone, anywhere in the world. Drive safe. Shout out to Stupid Bitcoin. Absolutely. I would argue. I would argue in the ATL, you have a super high probability of just being driven into. Shout out to Brian Varney, who wants to take a look at Caspa. Is it on the list? It is not on the list, but shout out to Brian Varney. I will mark it down here. If we have some time, I will take a look at Caspa. We have not taken a look at Caspa in quite some time, so we will take a look at that in just a minute. Captain Kirk said Frankie making himself laugh. Listen, the drivers in the ATL, guys, it's crazy, guys. I'm from New York, right? Like, in New York, the drivers are crazy, but it's like they know what they're doing, right? If you get cut off, the guy's going to hop the curb, cut you off, and get out of your way. Down here, everybody's just like driving around like they have no idea what's going on. It's like people going the wrong way down exit ramps, and they have no idea what's going on. It's wild. I've never seen anything like it. And I'm used to driving in the chaos of New York. Crazy. Let's see. Shout out to Jesse, said, Frankie, I will meet you one day for sure. Shout out to Jesse. Just make sure you don't leak my secret. Not my secret, but just make sure you tell everybody I'm really, really tall. Let them know. Shout out to Jesse. All right, let's see here. H-Bar, I'm going to write down some honorable mentions here. I'm not going to be able to get to every single one, but I will just take Yo, a shout out to Newbie Crypto said Miami destroys ATL in driving. I assume you mean like in a bad way. I've driven in Florida in general as well. It's pretty brutal down there too. Driving in India is the final boss of driving. Absolutely, 100%. I've seen the videos. Driving in India is crazy. Yeah, what you're saying about New York drivers is 100% true. It's 1,000% true, right? Like people just. You're going to get flipped off and screamed at, and people are going to cut you off, but like they're not going to disturb your day. Like they're just going to do it and they're going to leave. Like it's like they know what they're doing. They're good drivers that just drive chaotically. Down here, it's just like no one's ever driven before. They're just like clueless. It's crazy. It's crazy. But anyway, let's continue on here. But you can't have road rage down here. You can have road rage in New York. Down here, everybody's packing, so you can't really talk trash down here. I'll tell you that. I used to beat my horn. Like I don't honk my horn down here as much as I did in New York. In New York, it's like you have road rage, and it's like, hey, screw you, you moron. Yeah, you too. All right, have a good day. You too, bro. It's like it's so funny. Down here, yeah, you never know. You're not gonna get met. You're not gonna get met with fists. You're gonna get met with something else. But anyway, let's continue on. Just taking a quick look at Bitcoin here. Yeah, just still kind of bing-bonging around. But real quick, we took a look at Solana. We took a look at Ethereum. And again, guys, one other thing on Ethereum that we have been looking at, which does still look pretty interesting. Not only do we have the bull divs, that 2-day money flow coming up could be very, very interesting because, again, we have that 10-hour money flow crossover into the green with our weekly green dot printing, right? That gave us a little continuation to the upside. We also have the daily money flow looking to cross over into the green, so we can go ahead and check that 2-week time frame, which is right here, right? If that green dot prints on the 2-week with our daily money flow crossover, that would be a nice high time frame signal for an overall continuation of the trend. Not just an instant Lambo candle, but the trend to continue up. That's what we're hoping for here, right? But let's continue on. I'm going to jump into the requests here. Let's take a quick look at Sui. Where am I at? Crypto. There we go. Let's take a look at Coinbase chart. This is an old chart. This is not our Sui chart, is it? Yeah, I guess we could probably start a new chart here on Sui. Yeah, I mean, this is the current chart that we've been looking at, right? You have the lower volume profile. We came to tap the 786. This is a pretty nice 786 to hold, right? Because this is pulled from this higher low all the way to the high. We tap that 786 with, right, high time frame, 786 value area low confluence with your high time frame bull divs, guys. Typically, when we see these high time frame bull divs, daily, 2-day, 3-day. You also have your 3-day green dot printing. Now, again, money flow looks like trash here, right? Money flow crossing over into the red is bad for the overall continuation of the trend, to be quite honest, right? But those bull divs could give us a little bit of a continuation up. And it's not until we see the high time frame money flow coming back into the green that we start to look for a bigger continuation, right? Until then, it has to be looked at as potential lackluster retracements, lower highs, and lower lows. So we've already tested that golden pocket. So I'm actually going to take this off the chart real quick. I'm going to take the golden pocket off. We're going to keep that 786. And I'm going to try to mark out some new levels here for you guys. Let's see. I'm going to drop this into a folder so we have it. Bada boom, bada bing, hide that. Come on. So there we go. All right, so, whoops. This is a pretty old chart. So yeah, these are all old. Actually, get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this, get rid of this. Those are still valid. I'm just going to mark out some of these like relevant dailies, like these local. So that's tapped. You do have a daily right here. Daily right here. Daily right there. Daily right there. Yeah, that's tapped. And just grab this one as well. That's tapped. Tapped. Okay, never mind. They're all tapped. All right, so there are new dailies. And yeah, Sui's a little bit difficult, to be honest. Just because you kind of like don't have a ton of like significant consolidation, right? Like you have a little range up here, little range there. You got a little range here, right? Like they're kind of all these little mini ranges. You don't have any like gigantic ranges to look at, right? Like even if you mark this out, yeah, it's like there's not really any significant, maybe, yeah, I mean, it's just like you can't even, there's just no real significant ranges to look at, to be quite honest. Let's pull this from the low to the high. Yes. Golden pocket. Yeah, I'll give you the local ranges here. So even that, man, it's just like a slow grind down. It's not even like a clean profile. It's like, ugh, nasty profiles, guys. I'm not going to lie. This is a little bit hard to it's a little bit hard to look at, to be honest. Like, there's not a ton of like significantly clear profiles to look at. Could look at this locally. Bada boom. Low, POC, high. So yeah, locally, this is probably what I would look at. I don't love pulling it to the current price right now because it's just not as respected. So this is the local range we would have to look at. I'll be honest, like the levels are just kind of like garbage here. Like as far as the volume profiles go, the only thing I can really look at is that profile and this profile, right? So you have the lower profile here, which obviously has been respected. Whoops. Boom. Whoops. Boom. Boom. So, yeah, you get back in, value area low, value area high. We're kind of just bing-bonging around in these gross ranges. I'll be honest, this is very, very difficult to look at. Yeah, it's like it's a complete and total mess. It's just super, super choppy. I would be more inclined to just look at this from a higher time frame perspective, to be quite honest with you. Like, we could look at this, right? Local value area below, value area high 209, POC 202, value area low 173. Upper profile, value area low 218, POC 226, and then the value area high at 245. I'll be honest, like, this is super choppy. I would not be interested in trading this necessarily. Unless you catch like these macro pushes into the bigger 786, like I would not be looking to trade this locally. I would be viewing this from a high time frame perspective. Hiding the ranges and just viewing this from a much higher time frame. Right? And I'll actually pull up the MPOCs here. So I'll mark out the monthly MPOCs, which I'm sure we probably already have one here. We got one here and one right hither. Yeah, like maybe we can look at it like even that doesn't really help you out on a lower time frame, right? Like these are just all way lower prices. All right. So we got the monthly MPOCs. Let me just okay, perfect. Weekly MPOCs. Got one here. You have wow, this one has like not technically tapped, but it is there. And then you got another one right up here. All right, hide that. Pull up the dailies. Okay, get rid of these. Those are still valid. All right, so let's mark these out real quick. One right down here. One right up here. Same thing. This one is like barely tapped. One there. Yeah, these are just, there's tons of them. So let me just grab these, bring them up to the top, hide the indicator. So yeah, I mean, I wish there was a cleaner range to look at here, guys, to be quite honest with you. This is just nasty. Like low, high, deviation, back to the POC, front run the low. Yeah, I'll be honest, guys. Like I would have to sit with this for a while. I don't really love any of these profiles, to be quite honest. But if we look at take a look at the higher time frame levels, I'll bring up the horizontals as well. Take a look at the monthly levels. One there. Yeah, all those remain the same. Weeklies. Yeah, I would just really be looking at high time frame, honestly, MPOCs. So okay, so now we can try to make sense of this now, right? So if we do continue up, let's pull the local fib here, swing high, swing low. So this would be key resistance. Monthly MPOC, this will also be like somewhat of a target, right? Because if we are going to continue the bigger retracement on Bitcoin, obviously the alts are probably going to follow. You have the golden pocket, this significant golden pocket 786 right on that monthly naked point of control. You also have a daily MPOC in there as well, so this is going to be big resistance. I like that as confluence. So that would be key level number 1 to the upside. I wish it was like really within a nice profile level as well, which I might not be. Yeah, there you go. Also the value area. Okay, so now we can start to try and make sense of this. So yeah, kind of similar to Bitcoin. If you're looking at this from like a similar perspective, if we get the bigger retracement, right? This is not the full golden pocket 786 retracement, but it is a local. Yeah, I mean, this whole kind of zone here, like this whole area, it's a big zone. But I would say sitting here between starting off at 305 up to about 355, golden pocket, monthly naked point of control, 786 daily naked point of control, big zone of resistance here. So if we get above here, we start getting that bigger retracement. This will be a large target to be looking at and very, very important strong resistance. Once you flip that level, that might be where you could get accepted back into your bigger range, right? MPOC, monthly MPOC, value area high confluence up here, so that would be nice, right? And then you have your value area high, you have your POC, you have your value area low. So this is what I'd be looking at on SUI. To be quite honest with you, though, you do have the bull divs, right? So looking similar to like Solana. High time frame bull divs into key levels of support. Again, macro 786 that we came down there. If you get the bigger retracement, these will be big targets I'd look at to the upside. And then locally, I would be looking, come down to like a 4-hour. Yeah, it's like I really don't love this range, to be quite honest. Like this is a gross range. It's like just not very well respected. But I would look locally, pull from the high to the low, daily naked point of control, golden pocket, and then 786 up here, 260. But daily naked and golden pocket sitting here between 246 and 240. Key level of resistance to the upside. I just wish I could have a local range here. The context is just botched here, to be quite honest. And I'll give you this as support. 786 golden pocket daily naked point of control. So yeah, I mean, context is chopped, completely chopped here. It's like there's no range to look at. I hate this chart as far as like local levels. Like there's just so much here. No clear structure other than just this massive downtrend. Like there's just no clean ranges. But if we continue up, this will be a big resistance. Daily naked, golden pocket. I don't want to be like too over exaggerated about that. I wouldn't say like huge, right? I would say this is huge, right? Monthly naked point of control, like big level. But locally, you know, if I had to pull a range here, although it is kind of ugly, like maybe pull it like that, right? This is what I wouldn't expect this to be as respected as a normal volume profile because it's like you get up here, you stay above the POC, finally. Yeah, this would be what I look at, to be quite honest. So locally on SUI, value area low sitting at 208, POC sitting at 226, value area high sitting at 243, right? And again, value area high has a lot of confluence. Your value area low has the daily naked point of control confluence. And then if you deviate below that low, you would just be looking down here towards the golden pocket 786. This is what I would look at. I would not be looking to trade this locally. But if I had to, these are probably the levels I'd be looking at. Whew! God, that was a rough chart, guys. That was a rough chart. Let's see. Bada boom, bada bing. Orlando, where your soul comes to die. Shout out to P-Dub. My idea is that we are returning to the hundreds and then up, but I look macro, not daily. Yeah, shout out to XRP Belgium. I assume you're talking about Bitcoin there. I kind of pretty much agree with that, right? Like, if we get that bigger retracement, head up towards 97K. Once we get above 97K, $100,000 liquidity. And once we get above that POC, that greatly increases the chances of new all-time highs, in my opinion. I pretty much agree with that. But yeah, let's see here. Let's see. Breaking a sweat on that one, Frankie. Yeah, shout out to Dave Hagen. That's a rough chart. Not all charts are going to be, at least the way I chart, right? Like on Bitcoin, we have very clearly defined nice ranges, right? Like just beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. There's one range. Here's another range, right? Like nice respected ranges. This is really what I like to do, or what I like to look at. But sometimes charts are just gross, right? And at that point, it's totally fine, right? You can still look at the chart. You can still analyze it. But you would just, like me personally, I would be more just kind of focusing on like I would just be like more focusing on like the high time frame levels, right? Like again, not trying to not overcomplicating it, just looking at like the high time frame levels, just trying to find where you have like a lot of confluence, right? So like you could say to yourself, sure, we could look at every nitty-gritty level in here to try to predict every up and down, which is oftentimes what we try to do. But if we get a bigger retracement to the upside, like where's your next big confluent level of resistance? Well, weekly and monthly naked point of control, that's probably going to be a significant level to look at, right? And then we could start to look at like, well, hey, do we have confluence there with any kind of significant Fibonacci retracement, right? So you could pull your full fib from the high to the low, right? See where that confluence comes in. So you have the golden pocket monthly, not confluent with theirs. So we could look for the lower highs. And there you go. Your lower high to the low, golden pocket, weekly, monthly naked point of control, like nice confluence up there. All right, so I would just kind of like mark out those high time frame levels. All right, so if that big retracement continues, sure, maybe you're going to bing bong around a lot, but eventually you'd be looking to come up to that golden pocket, right? Again, monthly naked point of control, big levels. But yeah, rough chart. We haven't taken a look at Sui in a little while. Definitely a rough one. But there you go. There's all the levels. Monthly naked point of control, everything. So there you go. That's what I'd be looking at. Shout out to Stupid Bitcoin said, gold 4,200 to 4,700 incoming. Yeah, gold's out of control. Gold is absolutely out of control. Look at this thing. $3,400. Unbelievable. We're already into our, this was the next major level that we were looking at as far as resistance. We have come into that. We kind of got a little turbulence. Now we're attempting to break above it. My next Fibonacci target on gold, if we do continue up in a big way, would be up towards $4,200 and potentially beyond. Shout out to Creighton C. Welcome back to the Mafia, bro. Getting that Hitman membership. Let's go, baby. Shout out to Creighton C. Welcome back, brother. You're like a permanent member of the Mafia, though. But shout out to Creighton C. Let's see. All right, so let's continue on. Shout out to Ando Poncho. Said that's how I look. That's how I sound trying to chart anything. Yeah, I'll be honest, guys. Like, it's not very often that I get caught up like that. But that's just like I would have to sit down and really break down that chart. I try to keep things kind of quick here on the live streams. Usually, it's my forte to like quickly jump on the chart and find the key levels and the ranges, the context. But yeah, I'm not gonna lie, guys. That's Sui be rough. Welcome to the club, Creighton. Let's go. Shout out to Sleek Coil. Said higher hourly money flow on ABT looks good. Weekly just printed a double green dot with bull divs on the 4 to 6 day. Let's go. Shout out to Sleek Coil. We could try to take a look at ABT. I don't know if we're gonna have time, but if not, we'll try to take a look at it tomorrow. But yeah, we'll see. We'll maybe take a look at that. Shout out to Cryptic Crabman. Said, Mom, can I borrow your jewelry? I swear it's for a school project. Yeah, wow. When was the last time gold moved that fast? I mean, take a look at that weekly. She flying. I mean, yeah. Last time she was really just impulsing up. 2020. Yikes. Oh, man. It's usually not, 2008. 2020. Ah, man. The 80s. Oh, God. Pretty wild to see gold do this. And actually, something we were looking at on gold recently was the potential daily bearish divergences forming here. Higher highs on price, never printed the div. Now we have even higher highs on price, and this bear div might get invalidated. That was kind of what we were looking at. Hey, maybe if we can get the bear div on gold on the daily and get a big push to the downside, maybe we could see Bitcoin pump a bit more. That might get invalidated at this point. That div never printed. VWAP just stuck above that zero line. But anyway, let's continue on here. Oh, ABT's on the list. Shout out to Sleek Coil. ABT's on the list. Let's take a look at it. Haven't taken a look at ABT in quite some time either. Well, let's take a look here. Oh, God, another. Wow. Shout out to the altcoin requests. These are all just super rough charts. Oh, man. Look at this. Crazy. But we're going to try our best here. We're going to try our best. All right, so let's take a look here. We do have some kind of like significant range. This range is still hitting here. We have the high volume node sitting at about $1.05. Lost it. Big move to the downside. Quick moves up oftentimes lead to quick moves down very clearly. I'm going to get rid of that high volume node, and let's take a look at this. Can't even get rid of this. This is like not even really significant. So yeah, I would say like your real upper range to look at. I mean, you're pretty far away from it at this point. Value area low $1.34, POC $1.50, value area high $1.82. Could pull some fibs here. Yeah, it's not really going to help us out. These are all lost. Am I getting pranked? Are we just looking at the most wild charts, like the hardest to chart charts? Well, let's see. I'll try to get some high time frame levels in here. Let me check the MPOCs real quick. Yeah, no monthlies. Check the weeklies. All right, so I will mark out this weekly MPOC. I'll mark out this weekly MPOC. We'll drop these in a folder. Weekly MPOC. Boom. Pull up the dailies. Of course, these are just like useless. There's just so many of them. So maybe I'll just pull the horizontal. So you got one here. This is a daily. I'm going to mark this as an MPOC. It's also a daily horizontal. You got another MPOC. Daily MPOC. Daily MPOC. And you got another one right there. So, yeah, I mean, these are kind of all over the place. There's just so many of them. I wish I could change the tick size. Boom. Daily MPOC. Let's hide that. Let's see. So 2-day, no bull div on the 2-day, unfortunately. No bull div on the 3-day. No bull div on the 4-day. Yikes. Like somewhat of an exaggerate. Yeah, no, you have a little bull div here on the 5-day. And a slight bull div on the 4-day. So 4-day, higher lows, lower lows. I mean, it's just gross looking. It's not like, yeah, you're just in this like big gap. But you do have divs. 4-day bull div, 5-day bull div, 6-day bull div, weekly green dot. Let's check that 10-hour money flow. 10-hour money flow crossing into the green. That's kind of the best bet here. 10-hour money flow crossing over into the green with your weekly green dot printing. That is typically a market cipher, or is a market cipher B1/16 bullish setup for a potential continuation to the upside. If you do get the bigger continuation to the upside, the next significant level sit up here within the volume profile. Yeah, like you just don't. You got a weekly level right here. You have a weekly level right on your value area low. Tapped. And then you have a weekly level down here. Yeah, another hard chart. It's the theme of the stream. Hard charts. Hard charts with Frankie Candles. But yeah, 16-hour money flow crossing over into the green. Yeah, I mean, you really don't have too many significant levels. Like maybe you could look at this as a little volume profile, but for the most part on the higher time frames, like your big levels really don't come in. Yeah, like even these don't help us. Let's go from this high to the low. Yeah, I would look to come up in here somewhere. Again, very murky chart. But you do have the divs. You do have the weekly green dot and the 10-hour money flow crossover, so hopefully that can continue you up. Shorter term, 4-hour money flow in the green, 8-hour red dot printing. Same as everything else. So that money flow comes out on the 30-minute. I mean, look at this chart. This is just like craziness. Like I would not be like trading this personally shorter term, right? I would just be looking at this as like higher time frame levels. So yeah, I would say between like a higher time frame between $1.34 all the way up to $1.86. That's your next significant area of resistance. Yeah, other than that, that's all we really got for this. Money flow coming up. This money flow's been in the red forever. It's like a gross chart. I don't even know how helpful that's going to be quite honest. This is just a nasty chart. Shout out to ABT. Doesn't mean like the coin's bad or anything. Just kind of a gross, chart. All right, let's see. Brian Varney said, I told a table full of traders that 5K gold was incoming, and they told me I was nuts, and the top was in. That was last weekend. Why I'm long gold, I don't know. You the man, Frankie. Shout out to Brian Varney. Hey, shout out to Brian. Hey, bro, more often than not, when they call you crazy, it's usually a good sign that you might be onto something, bro. So shout out to Brian Varney. More often than not, like I always say on the live streams, right? We take a look at key levels. Like when we looked at $107 to $101 on Solana, looking at this as we were bing-bonging up here, and like even up higher. Like it's like I feel crazy looking at these levels, guys, but like based off money flow, based on the next key levels, this could be incoming, and more often than not, we do see it happen. And usually people don't want to hear this, right? Especially on YouTube. They're like, just tell me it's going up. Lie to me. Tell me it's going up. But I can't do that, right? I can only keep it honest and keep an eye and only spit facts here based off the information on the charts. You're never going to get some random, just like pointless emotional bias from me, right? Like I don't care. If it looks like it's going up, I'm going to say it. If it looks like it's going down, I'm going to say it. Take a sip of that black coffee. Let's see. All right, so let's continue on. Our next altcoin, say in May, has been true more than not. Yeah, shout out to Dave Digital. That is true. Sell in May and go away is typically right. I wish there was a way to just highlight all Mays without having to like scrub through and look for them. But yeah, that is definitely true, Dave. That is definitely true. All right, so let's continue on here. What do we got? LTC, Litecoin. I like it. These are some different altcoins, although the first two were very difficult. At least Litecoin has a bit better of a chart to look at. All right, so let's take a look at this. I don't believe we have like a super current Litecoin chart. We have not taken a look at Litecoin in quite some time. Yeah, we just don't really have much here, so we'll just start nice and fresh. Okay, so let's take a look here. So obviously, when we look at this in terms of the 2021 cycle, bear market range, this is kind of how we mark out these levels, right? So we have our bull market value area. Whoops. POC, value area low. Oops, come on. There we go. And then we have our bear market range, which is pretty much where we're at right now. All right, this is very similar to the Bitcoin bull market range where we looked at a break of 30K saying, hey, huge doorway to higher prices. Once you get accepted into that value area, probably going to look for the bigger move up. Same thing on Litecoin here. So we have the bull market range. Let me just highlight all this. Boom. All right, so 2021 range. And then we have the bear market range. I don't know why I put an exclamation mark on that, but that's fine. So yeah, this is your key volume profile as of right now. Value area low sitting at 58.91. That's key support. Taking a look at Market Cipher, money flow coming. Oh man, that money flow crossover into the red, guys. I wish. Again, this does not mean that you can't fake it out, but guys, money flow coming out on these higher daily time frames, even if you get a bigger retracement, this would make you look for lower highs and lower lows. Very simply put, until this money flow comes back up. Let's take a look at the daily. Maybe it's giving us, even the daily's kind of flat here. So value area low on Litecoin sitting right here, about 59.26. POC sitting at 70.72. Value area high sitting at about 146, or $100.46. And then you even have this nice clean range up here. But at the end of the day, on the higher time frame, on the higher time frames, this is the range to respect. Once we imbalance out of this range or impulse out of this range, Here's your doorway to higher prices. All right, doorway to higher prices. That's the key level to break. We try to get above, resistance until proven otherwise, and it slammed us back down. Once we get above that level, flip it to support. That's where we look for a push into the POC, push into the value area high. But until that happens, I'm looking for this to get respected. Now, when we pull our fib from the low here in 2024 in August to the high, we are technically holding above that 786. This is nice. If we do not want the full rotation to the value area low, this is an important level to hold. This is from the low to the high. Hold that 786. Maybe we can continue up, but to be honest, high time frame money flow still not looking hot here on Litecoin. Daily money flow, nothing really to write home about. You're starting to get a little pushback up there. 12-hour money flow looking to cross over into the green. 8-hour money flow crossing over into the green. Let's check the 4-hour. Yeah, I would say 10-hour money flow crossover, weekly green dot looking to print. So that's what I would look for. Weekly green dot prints with that 10-hour money flow crossover might be able to indicate that the longer-term trend will continue up. I would still be pretty careful here, though, just because of the high time frame money flow on the 3-day, right? Like, let's pull some local fibs. Pull it from here. No. Yeah, I would prefer. I don't even really know if I would prefer that, to be honest. Let's pull from all the way from this low to the high. Yeah, I mean, you're holding key levels here. That 786 could be the bottom potentially. But if we come back down, value area low at about 59.16. Right? So I would say that's your next leg. If you break back down to the value area low, you're hoping to hold above that level. If not, stay above the P. We didn't tap the value area low. I would have liked to tap that, but we did hit the 786. So stay above the POC. Maybe we can get a push into the value area high, or maybe some of these local fib levels, which are sitting just above at about 85.05 to 91.51. So this would be local resistance. But yeah, it's really hard, guys. We're in a difficult situation in the market. This is by far the hardest cycle I've ever been in. But just even on this chart, right? Lower lows, lower highs and lower lows. 3-day is saying lower highs and lower lows, right? So something like this could be possible. But just in general, this is your volume profile. It's not really until we break above $122 where I would be looking at that as a bigger move to the upside, right? Because then you're breaking all this, coming back into your upper range. So yeah, I mean, you do have some of the signals. You're no 2-day bull div, no daily bull div. Yeah, I personally would prefer lower, right? But that doesn't mean you're going to get it, right? So, I would much rather look for a bull div down at the value area low. But yeah, that 3-day money flow does not look that great. So, if that weekly green dot incoming, if we print that weekly green dot with the 10-hour money flow crossover into the green, might be able to give you a little bit more of a move up, but I'd be very careful of more rejections to the downside because that high time frame money flow is not looking too hot. But yeah, that weekly green dot is going to be the thing. If anything is going to push you up, that weekly green dot with the 10-hour money flow crossover has got to be the thing to do it. If not, I'd be looking lower. So there you go. Shout out to ADD Dad said, I'm behind, but Frankie is not 6 foot. He's modest. Wait, shout out to ADD Dad. Dude, you think I'm over 6 feet? Shout out to ADD Dad. I actually met ADD Dad. He spotted me in public. Shout out to ADD Dad. Are you saying I'm taller than 6 foot? You think I'm 6'1"? Say it. Am I 6'2"? ADD Dad. Actually, with my hair right now, I might be 6'2". Not going to lie. It's almost like a flat top. I'm not going to lie. Frankie's hair greater than ETH. I love it. But yeah. Let's see. Sol lost the value area low for now. Shout out to Wick589 in the chat. What is going on, bro? Said, Dave, I don't know what you mean. I'm already double fisting coffee 100% of the time. Shout out to Wick589. You may not. Never mind. Come on. All right, never mind. I was going to say I double fist coffee too, but I can't get this cup out. But shout out to Wick 589. I just drink it, stack it, drink it, stack it, drink it, stack it. Shout out to Wick 588. He said, oh, Frankie is as tall as any Kenyan. I once saw him casually slap a stuck basketball loose. If you know, you know. Shout out to Wick 589. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Wick knows me in real life, too, or he's seen me in real life. Wick, what would you say? 6 foot? 6 foot. I'm like 6 3/4. I think is the legit number. But yeah. All right. So let's see. How we doing on time here? How long we've been going for? Don't forget to smash that like button if you have not already. Oh, baby, we're going overtime here. All right, let's take one quick look at Caspa, guys. Let's take one quick look at Caspa. Hopefully, we can make more sense of this chart than everything else. All right, so let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Let's get rid of this. Key level lost. Massive drop to the downside. All right, yeah. I mean, we do have a cleaner range here on Caspa, at least, right? You do have the 2-day bull divs, which is nice. And look at that. You're getting the push to the upside. This looks a little bit more similar to Bitcoin. Like that's your $91,000 value area low. Whoops. Yeah. I mean, this is much clearer, right? Oh my God. It's like a breath of fresh air. So you have your golden pocket value area low sitting between 1196 and 1104, right? Like it's like at 11 cents pretty much. 786 sits up here at about 13 cents, but I would say like this is your next big target to the upside. Locally, we could take a look at this local range here. This would be your hyper local range. Value area low, POC, value area high. Let's pull our local retracement. Okay, boom, boom. Okay, so look at this. This is the difference between a clean chart and a garbage chart. It's like context is clear. Let's pull some anchored VWAPs here. Let's pull it from the all-time high. All right, beautiful. That anchored VWAP from the top might become confluent if we can continue that push to the upside. So, yeah, I mean, these are the levels I would look at. You know, next key level, about 11 cents, right? That's going to be your macro doorway to higher prices, right? Grab this. Doorway to higher prices, right? That's your big level. Just like Bitcoin, if we're able to continue up here, flip that value area low to support, get the bigger push to the upside into the value area high. And, you know, your POC's up here as well, right? So you really want to flip that purple box, not just the doorway to higher prices. You want to flip about 12 cents, right? That golden top of the golden pocket, top of the POC, get above that. 786 is likely at 13 cents. Flip above that. You can continue that journey up to the 16-cent value area high. That is the road to higher prices, right? Let's pull the weekly. Yeah, you got a weekly level in here too, right? Where it's like now we're just finding more confluence here. Weekly horizontal. You have a weekly down here as well. So, yeah, locally, this is your volume profile. Similar to Bitcoin, right? Like we're up at the current range value area high. This would be like $86,000 to $88,000 on Bitcoin, right? So if we get back into the range, you could look for a pullback. But if we look at the daily here, daily bull divs confirmed. This looks a little better. This looks more like Ethereum and Bitcoin than it does. This looks more like Solana and Bitcoin than all the other coins that we just looked at. Clear bullish divergences, lower lows, higher lows, money flow trying to trend to the upside. Trying to continue that move to the upside. So, yeah. If we could break above, flip this 786 to support, I would look for the bigger continuation into the weekly at about 11 cents. So, there you go. Short term. Let's see here. We do have, let's take a look. Yeah, you have 1 hour bear divs. It looks much similar to Bitcoin. Bearish divergences above the value area high. I would say if you lose this value area, that's where you get the bigger move down towards the POC of the range. But if you could flip that 786, this would be the key level I would look to flip to support to call or to start the bigger push up to the 11 cent zone, right? Weekly, value area low, golden pocket, much more confluence up here. So, yeah, that's what I would look for. If we can cool off here a little bit, and let's see here. 4 hour red dot is printing. 15-minute money flow trying to come down. Kind of flat there. But, Yeah, this would be the, let me get rid of this. Yeah, this would be the local range I would be watching. So, yeah. And again, daily, if you can get that daily money flow to continue into the green, eventually, I wouldn't say we're there yet, but if you can get that money flow a bit closer to the zero line, that's where I'd be looking for the continuation of the trend to the upside. So, like, even here, right, like, how is the bottom going to form on Bitcoin? Same thing here, right? You have the bull divs. Are we just going to have that bull div be the start of the big move up, or are we going to get one of those bigger bottom formations like we did here in August, right, where you put the higher low in on the golden pocket 786 before continuing up, right? That would look something like this. And you do have that golden pocket value area low confluence, right? So that would be key level to the downside. Boom. And then you have the 786 weekly underneath. Very similar to Bitcoin. So there you go. These are the key levels for Caspa. I'd be careful of the resistance here, but once you flip above that 786, flip it to support. Could look for the bigger journey up towards your value area low of the larger range. So, let's see here. Thank you very much, Frankie. Shout out to Brian Varney. No problem. But guys, I think that's all the time we got for tonight's live stream. We're already at that 2-hour mark here. Bitcoin at 87,000. Still bing-bonging around sideways. If you're just tuning in, scrub to the beginning of the stream to see my full thoughts on Bitcoin and what I'm expecting next here. We'll see if we can catch one of these short entries at the value area high, and if we stop out, look for that squeeze back to between $90,000 to $91,000. We'll see what happens. You guys have all the key ranges that I'm looking at, the key levels, the context, the higher time frames, the lower time frames, everything that I'm watching for that next move on Bitcoin. So thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Shout out to J. Cole. Shout out to K. Diggity. Shout out to Dave Digital. Shout out to Jesse. Shout out to Lion. Shout out to Lion. We did take a look at Ethereum, bro. If you scrub back to the beginning of the stream, we did take a look at Ethereum. It was like the second thing we looked at. Shout out to Jesse. Shout out to Dave Digital. Shout out to the mod. Show him some love and smash that like button on the way out. That's all the time we got for today's live stream. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Same place, same time, right here. 5:45 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right on the Frank Candles YouTube channel. Shout out to K Diggity, shouting at me. That's all I got. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong.
Look what's next for me, Joe. I'm gonna get that second bell. Where the is it? They should have had them two bells ready. Spit shine for me.
Yeah. Head up in the clouds, dog, they saying I look stressed. I've been feeling down, pray to God that I'm up next. Remember when she blew me off, that's why I can't text. Now she call me petty, but I swear I can't forget. This ain't a test. Now they saying that I ball like Jerry West. Coming back for what is mine, can't take no less. I said go and take a shot, so I need your best. And stop the threats, so nobody's into me. I don't got time, I'm not giving the energy. Too many people around me, I'm finicky. I do not mess with you, dog, you're not kidding me. You don't got way too close. I've been up at the top now, so they all wait for the landslide. I seen too many people that switched up, whose man's high. Through it all, I stay the same, I swear to God, I can't lie. Been down so damn low that I came up for my life. They talk way too much on the internet, it's not real life. I swear my fam waiting, I can't lose, and I'm still right. Still right, I swear that I'm working them up till like midnight. It's real life, I got the time and I'm coming to get mine. In time, I cannot lose and I'm coming right inside. I'm in my, yeah.
Oh, shout out to Creighton C. I was about to talk about my height, but shout out to Creighton C. Thank you for the super chat. Said, bro, I'll get you over 6'1", stretch daily, like yoga, strengthen your traps, caps, stretch your upper neck, get you around an inch. Also, a fade and a flat top, 90s high top fade, a.k.a. the Gumby. Hey, I'm not going to lie. I could get my hair right now almost into a flat top. I'm not even lying. It's the consistency of my hair. I can get that. Shout out to Creighton C. I'm about to go gel up my hair and measure myself. And maybe, just maybe, we could even get to 6'2". But shout out to the CandleMafia, guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same time. You know the rest. Hasta pasta. Frankie Candles out. Bing bong!
Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Ayy, on the road, here we go. Yeah, we winning by a landslide. Never see me coming, I'm a landmine. Yeah, I ain't taking orders in command like. Yeah, you about to see me on demand like. You know on demand. If you ain't know, you about to understand. Yeah, I got the team by my side, right hand. Yeah, take it to a string, you ain't seen it like that. Yeah, and it's the dream, and we coming for the bag. Yeah, and we ain't ever going back now. Future expedited, now we on the fast track now. They won't lend a hand, now they see us on the map now. It's time to act out. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Yeah, on the road, here we go. Here we go, at the top of the class on a roll. And it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Maxed out, put the pedal to the floor. Hey, on the road, here we go. Yeah, at the top of the class on a roll. Hey, and it's time to run it up, yeah, you know. Yeah, maxed out.